dog sweater. It has a leash to it. Saw it online, and there was like absolutely no pattern for this. So I did a rough draft here of what I think it might be, and I'm gonna try to make one of these right here on the camera for you. I haven't made it yet, but I like calculated and here's my little pattern here. It's a rough draft of a pattern, but it's pretty close to it. So basically we're going to be making a strap, and this goes around the neck, and it has a button to attach, and then this is the back of the neck, and then these two flaps that are right about here, let me show you. I'm writing right over my work too. These two big flaps are right here. This goes around the belly. Now for this project, there is like a keychain thing that goes right about here. I don't have that, but I will show you what you're pretty much going to be using. Let me see here. Here we go. Okay, so there are these keychains like this, and one of them has like a little hook to it, so you can just hook it on just like on a leash. And all I have is keychains. I do not have that little hook thing. So I'm basically gonna do like a rough draft type of thing here, and then once I get my little hook thing, I will add that on there, which is simple. All you have to do is just sew it on. So it's basically simple how to do this. So what you're going to be needing are these keychain type of hooks. You're going to need two of them. One that goes on the harness, and the other one will be going on the leash. Now the leash is basically a long thing, and then we're going to take it and fold it just a little bit right here and sew it together to make a little part for you to put your hand in. And then where the keychain part is, you're just going to fold it, put your keychain in over it, and then sew it on just like so. So I'm going to show you all the stitches on how to make this little piece, and then show you how we're going to attach the little keychains together. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm going to put my rough draft to the side over here. For this project, I'm going with cotton yarn. I do not want yarn that's stretchy. I want it nice, durable. You know, I don't want it to be ripping on the baby and the dog. Sorry, I said baby. I've been making a lot of baby projects lately. Okay, so for the dog, I want something thick, durable, easy to wash, easy to clean, and cotton seems to be the best thing for this project. So this is what I had in hand. I don't know if I'm going to go with pink for the project or white for the project. I have a miniature Doberman, and she is beautiful. She's very petite though. So I'm not sure if which color I should go with on this project. And I think I'm just going to go with the white, make the pink flowers, and I have this gray color here, so I'll make some leaves out of this, just to show you basically how to do that. Now the roses and the leaves are the same ones I used for my ballerina slippers for the baby. I'm going with that same pattern. So if you have any trouble with it, you can always go to that tutorial and find that. But I'm going to show you a simple way of making these roses. They're very, very simple. So I'm going to put these to a side, because I'm going to use this white here. It's like an off-white. It's very, very nice, very unique. And I'm using a 4.25 millimeter hook, which is a G hook. Like I said, my dog is very petite. This is for a small dog pattern. Now if you have a larger dog, like a Shih Tzu, or like something that has a lot of hair, you might want to go up on the hook with a 5 millimeter hook, just so you know this will fit the dog. But right now I have not adjusted my patterns. Like I said, I haven't even made the item yet, so I'm just going with what I think was right for my dog right now. And this will probably fit a Chihuahua, like something small and petite like. So I'm going with a 4.25 millimeter hook, a G hook. Okay, you're going to be needing a temptress needle and 3 buttons. Now, I'm going with this soft white, so I'm going to use these soft white buttons here, and they have like a shell-like look to them. They're very, very pretty. I want this to be like some kind of unique kind of look to it, so I'm going to go with those buttons there. So, to get started, we're going to get our cotton yarn here. I think I'm going to pull it through the middle. It's much easier if it doesn't come out as a big old glob. Hate that. And when we're making the project, you're going to start off with a slip knot all the time. To make my slip knots, I just go around my 2 fingers, tuck it from behind, and pull it over. I take my hook, stick my hook between my 2 fingers, grab this string here so it doesn't loosen up, and what you're going to do is take this thread right here and release it off the hook and just pull on the other side of the string. So now you have your slip knot on there. We are going to start off by making a chain of 40. To make a chain, you're going to yarn over your hook. Now, beginners, when you guys are yarning over your hook, you notice that the chain is moving over there. Okay, to not have that problem, what I do is I hold the string with my fingers underneath, and then with my top index finger, I hold the other loop that's on my hook. And then I take the yarn it over, and when you're coming in to make this loop go inside this loop, because that's pretty much what you're gonna do, is take this loop and put it right inside that loop. You're gonna, I hold on to the bottom of this and pull towards this way, and then you can just turn your hook any way you can just to make sure that loop comes in, because sometimes it's very difficult. I see people having trouble trying to make a chain. Once you get the hang of it, you become a pro within like 5 minutes, trust me. Yarn over, take that loop and insert that one. Okay, so I have gone ahead and made a chain of 5 already. If I can get this last one in there. Come on, there we go. I'm doing it differently than the way I always do it. So there's a chain of 5. You're going to continue until you have a chain of 40. I'm going to do mine off camera and come back with mine finished. So if you have to, press pause. We'll be back here with my chain complete. Welcome back. Here we are with the chain of 40. Now this is basically the size of a collar for a small dog. This is what I mean. I'm making this for small dogs, so it depends on the size of your dog. So I will try to adjust this, make for a bigger dog. I don't have a bigger dog anymore, so all I have is my small little pooch. So when I get the chance to, I'll try to make one for a bigger dog. I know I have my sister-in-law's dog that she has a Labradoodle, and it's almost like the size of a poodle. I can do that size, which is a medium-sized dog. And then I have my brother-in-law that has a German Shepherd, which is a large dog. And my cousin, she recently is getting a Mastiff, which is a huge dog, but right now it's just a puppy, so I'll have to wait for that size. But when it gets to the adult size, I will make a one for that size dog, so then we'll have all size, from small, medium, large, and extra large. Okay, so here is the collar that we've just did, and this is basically what the collar is going to be, the size of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. And to do that, you're basically you're putting your hook right into the second chain here. Then you're going to yarn over again, pull that yarn through the chain, Then you're going to yarn over again and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. Let me show you again. We're going to the next chain over, and these loops right here on the very top are pretty much your chains. So you're just putting your hook right through the chain. You yarn over, pull that chain, the yarn through. Then you're going to yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. One more time, and then I'll go off and finish this off. Go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. So there you go, we have a single crochet. Make sure your chain is always straight. If you twist it, then you're going to have a twist project. See that? Make sure it's always straight. So before you even go into the chain, make sure it's always straight. Like you can actually see that straight. If I twist it, does that look straight anymore? No. So make sure it's straight. You can see the lips, then you're doing good. Okay? So we're going to single crochet all the way down this chain to the very end. Now, I'll tell you the truth, I get very excited when making projects like this because I actually can see it on my dog, which is great. This is probably the second thing I've ever made for my dog. I haven't had a chance to because I have so many orders. But right now I'm taking a break from that and doing my own things because, you know, I don't ever get to do my own projects anymore. And my dog has very fine short hair and she's always cold, so I want to make sure she's wearing something nice and warm for this winter time. Now right now it's about, let's see here, it's showing that it's about 52 degrees outside right now. That's pretty cold for California. Very cold. And we got, it says sun, but we get a lot of winds and stuff like that. This is pretty much our coldest summer that we've ever had this year, that I can remember. I know there was one time that was freezing cold too, but I think I was little at that time, so it's pretty a long time. I ain't saying I'm old, okay? But it is cold outside. I cannot really walk my dog for more than like 2 minutes because she starts shivering because it's so cold. So probably the next thing I'll make is some cute little booties to go for her feet so she won't be so cold. Okay, so I'm at the end here making my last single crochet on the last stitch. When you get to the end here, what you're going to do is you're going to chain up 1, turn your work around, and we're going to single crochet in the same stitch as the chain 1, and we're going to single crochet all the way across going into the stitches. And no more chains. So the stitches are pretty much what they look like, the chains are really on top of here. You're going into both those loops. See that? And you're just going to yarn over again. Same thing as you were doing before. Yarn over and go into both loops. So again, we're going into the both stitches. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So now I'm going to single crochet all the way down my project here. Now if you really need to catch up, because I crochet pretty fast, not as fast as others, there's some that are really super fast, but for beginners, press pause and just catch up. Okay, I'm on my last one here. You're going to chain up one. We're going to turn our work around, single crochet into the same stitch as the chain one. We're going to single crochet into the next stitch. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to chain two, one, two, skip 2 stitches and move to the third one and single crochet. This is now going to be our buttonhole. See how I did that? We just made a buttonhole. There goes my button. So this is going to be around the neck, and we just made the buttonhole for this. So what we're going to do now is just single crochet all the way down to the very end. Okay, I'm at the end. Chain up one, turn your work around. We're going to single crochet in the same stitch as the chain one. And now we're just going to single crochet all the way across. Okay, when you get to the chain part, you are going to single crochet in each of the chains too. So it's going to be 2 chains. So 1 and 2. And then you're just going to single crochet in the last 2 stitches. Okay, and just like so. Now we are going to chain up 1, turn our work around, and single crochet across. We're on row 5. Okay, so I'm on my last one. For this one, we're going to turn our work around. We're not chaining up. And we're going to slip stitch in the next 9 stitches. And we're going to skip 9 from this side. So if we need to, for those beginners, get a crochet marker. Now if you don't have a crochet marker, basically this is the great marker here to do. And what you will do for this is pretty much go back 9 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you'll take your hook, put it right through, take the loose end of the yarn and put it right through. So that is where you're going to mark that area. This side we really don't need that because we can count it. But when we get to right here, this is where we're going to stop at. So from this side, we're going to slip stitch in the first 9 stitches. The part of your hook where the yarn's coming out, that is count as a stitch. So you're going to move to the next one and that's going to count as number 2. So we're going to slip stitch. To slip stitch, it's almost like a single crochet. You are going into the stitch itself. Then you're going to yarn over, pull the yarn right through, and instead of yarning over again and pulling through both loops, you're going to just pull through the other loop. Just like so. Let me show you again. We're going to the next stitch over, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again the last loop. Just like so. That's a slip stitch. So now we just did 3. We're going to continue until we have 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We are now going to chain up 1, and then we're going to single crochet all the way down the row here until we get to that other marker that we have at the end here. So when we get to the marker, we stop. So let's single crochet. Okay, so I've reached to my marker. You can take that out now. We don't need it. Chain up one, and we're going to turn our work around. Now we're going to be working on this part right here. Okay, and for this part, what did I put? Row 5, make sure you put the hole in at the 3rd, slip stitch to 9. Okay, here we go, row 3. For 12 rows. Okay, so we're gonna do 12 rows of this. So what I'm going to tell you here, if you're going to be using these things right here, you can either put them inside already, because they're pretty easy just to put them right into the yarn itself. But you know, you can just open it up and put it in there. But if you don't want to do that and you want it to be in there like nice and perfectly, you will fold this in half. Here's the middle, open it. So you have this middle right here, right? So you want to use the 3 stitches that are right in between there. So what I would do is single crochet all the way to there, and when you get to there, you put your hook, this part right here, and when you get to there, you're going to single crochet it right over, so it'll be nice and in there. And I can show you how to crochet in the same stitch as a chain 1, and I'm single crocheting all the way down till I get to that middle part. Remember, you're gonna go 1 on each side, so okay, so here we are at the middle, and what you would do is take your little keychain thing here. I like to place it right on top like that. See that? And I'm going right into the next stitch into the loop itself. See that? And I'm going to do my single crochet. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm going to the next one. Make sure you go right into the thing, and the next one. So this is on there. See how it's nice and on there? Just like so. Then you'll just single crochet all the way across. Okay, and right here we do not do the slip stitch. We stop right there where we did our first single crochet, so you know. Okay, so now we're going to chain up 1 and single crochet across again. So we're going to do 12 rows of this. We just did 2, so we're going to do another 10. So that's 5, 6, 7. So it'll be a total of 17 rows together. So I'm just from here all the way up, we're doing 12. Okay, this is 5 rows that we did just for the collar part. So I'm just going to single crochet, oops, not half double crochet, single crochet. Didn't even know I had that on there. For another 10 rows. So we'll have a total of 17 when we're done. You can count them. So we're single crocheting all the way across. chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to continue on. I'm going to continue mine off camera with all 17 rows done, and I will meet you back here with mine complete. So if you need to press pause, go ahead and press pause. Okay, welcome back. I'm done with my 17 rows here. From here now we are going to fasten off. And when you fasten off, make sure you pull the string right through the loop and pull nice and tight so that loose won't come loose again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take that same yarn, make a slip knot, and we're going to chain up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. We're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook and single crochet across. Last one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is right here at the very end of our project, let me flip this over here, turn it around. Okay, this is where we fasten off. We're going to go right into the stitch here and single crochet this on there, just like so. See that? Now if these loose ends are bothering you, you can tie them and sew them in right now. I'm going to do that afterwards. So now I'm going to single crochet all the way across to the very end here. My last one. Now I'm going to do a single crochet foundation stitch. To do this, it's pretty hard to do it, but you're going into the side right here. Instead of going up, you're going into the side right there. You see where you like made your stitch? Yarn over, pull through, and do your single crochet. And that is 1. Okay, we're going to do this 12 times, so if you're an expert at this, go ahead and do that. So now we're working on the bottom of that stitch, pretty much. See that? You're going to yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2. And now we just did 2. Okay? You know how we normally go on the top here? We're not. We're working on the bottom of the stitch. You're like going backwards instead of forwards. So now we just did that one. So I'm going to go into the stitch here, if I can find it. There it is. Go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through. That's 2, 3. And you're going to do this 12 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So now I'm done. I'm going to turn my work around. Chain up 1. Okay, I'm now going to single crochet in the same stitch as my chain 1, and we're working on the top of the stitches now, and just single crochet all the way across. And here too, we're going to single crochet all the way across. I'm going to tie these two ends together. That way the project won't be hanging off the end here. And single crochet all the way across this. Okay, so now I'm on my last one. I'm going to chain up 1, turn my work around, and single crochet all the way across. When you get to the end, you're going to leave 4 of these undone. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make another buttonhole. I almost forgot about that. So we're going to chain up 2, skip 2, single crochet in the next one, and single crochet in the last stitch. Now we are going to chain up 1, turn our work around, and single crochet across. Make sure you single crochet in those 2 chains as well. Chain up 1, turn your work around. Single crochet all the way across. Now we're on row 5 for this one. We're going to do this for another couple more rows. I think it's a total of like 11 or 12 rows, but we do have to make another buttonhole. So like I said, this is my first time making this, so I'm going as it is, what I'm doing from my pattern here. So if I have to make an adjustments, I will. So right now I'm going to single crochet to the 7th row, and then I'm going to work from there. Actually, the 9th row, sorry, not 7, 9. That way we'll start making the hole. So we're on row 5 right now. Just to make sure. 3, 4, 5, yes, row 5. Okay, last one, chain up 1, turn my work around. Now I'm on row 6. Now I'm going to continue this until I get to row 9. So I'm going to go off camera for a little bit and speed up this video because I don't want to have a super long video, and come back with row 9. So if you need to, press pause right now and catch up, and then when I get back here I'll be on row 9 on this part right here. Okay, so I'm back here, finished up to row 9, and I'm going to chain up 1, turn your work around, working on the opposite side. We're going to single crochet in the first chain, the stitch where the chain's at, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the 3rd stitch, and single crochet all the way across. So the little voices in the background, those are my kids. They woken up. So now I'm trying to get this video done so you don't have to hear them talk. Because they can get pretty loud. They're 2 boys. I actually have 4, but the other 2 are older, so they already know. And so now I'm just going to single crochet all the way across. Okay, and get to the end here, chain up 1, turn your work around, single crochet in the 1st stitch, and single crochet all the way across. We're going to do this for another row, and we're going to then start making this all nice and neat. And we're pretty much going to be done with this project here. And start the flowers and make it look all pretty. And then we can start working on the leash. Okay, make sure you single crochet into those chains. And into the last 2 stitches. Chain up 1, turn your work around, single crochet all the way across. Okay, last one. Here we are. Now what we're going to do is single crochet all the way around. Okay, to clean up the whole edging, everything, make it nice and clean. And I always start from the side here. I never start from the end here because I don't know why, I just do. So what I'm going to do is chain up one and go into each one of our rows here and single crochet. So I'm just going in each of the rows and single crocheting all the way down this, making it nice and clean. No more rough edges here. When you get to the corner here, do the same thing all the way around to the top here, just single crocheting. And I actually don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to go back to a couple stitches here, and what I'm going to do is put two in the same one that I did here to make sure it makes that turn. And I'm going to stagger my stitches. Instead of going into these rows here, I'm going to go into this one and single crochet. That way it looks even with all the others. I don't want to have a gap in between. Sometimes when you make the chain you get that big gap, and I don't want that. I want to have it nice and neat. So I'm going to stagger the stitches and go into the bottom stitch to make sure it's nice and even. Okay, here's where we have the loose ends. No need to sew them in because I'm going to crochet them in. The reason I do this, I lay them right on top and just start crocheting right over them, as you can see here, going into each one of the rows and just single crocheting. Okay, here we are on the other side now. I'm going to single crochet here, and again I'm going to stagger my stitches because this is where the slip stitch is at, and single crochet to make sure it's all even all the way around. When I get to the corner here, I'm going to put two to make it turn, and then go into each of the rows on the side here. And again I'm going to put two in the last one to make it turn, and I'm going to stagger my stitches on the top here because we did the chain. Lay my loose end down so I can crochet right over it. Fingers cramping up over here. get to the end here, I'm going to put 2 to make that turn. Single crochet in each of the rows. And that's one again. I'm going to single crochet into the rows again. Okay. I don't like the way that's looking. I'm going to stagger my stitches. I'm going into the bottom stitch instead of the top. Okay, we're getting there. We're almost at the end now. Okay, so now we fasten off. Pull that right through. Our needle and sew in the ends. here it is. So those buttons on, you want to make sure they're even, so you fold it like this, mark where you're going to put the buttons at, and place your buttons on each side. And I'm going to show you how to do the roses. I'm going to sew my buttons on and then come back here and show you how to make these roses that we're going to put right here and the dog leash. Okay, here we are again. I got ahead and sewed in my buttons like I told you. I did one flower for right now because we're gonna, you can use 2 or you can use 3. I think I'm just gonna use 2. One for the outfit and another one for the leash. And this is the flower that I'm gonna be using. And like I said, I'm using gray, and I made the leaf out of the gray, so it's gonna look very unique here. And this one's gonna go right above the little thing here. Now, I was able to find one of these. This is the little thing I was trying to tell you guys at the beginning that you guys are gonna need for the leash. This will allow it to hook onto this, and you can walk your dog. So I'm so happy I actually found one, so I can actually finish my project here. So yay! So I have one. So let me show you how to make these flowers. I just used a bead in the middle here, and it's just a regular bead, like, I know I brought another one out here. Here it is. This is a regular bead, and I just sewed it in the middle just to give it that, like, more of a floss look. And this is the little leaf, and it actually looks like a heart. See that? So cute. Okay, so let's start off by making the leaf real quick. Leaf is very, very simple. That's why I'm going to do the leaf first. Start off by making a slip knot. Okay, you're going to chain up 12. Okay, we're going to triple crochet into the 5th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to do a triple crochet, sorry, let me show you first for you beginners out there. You're going to wrap the yarn over your hook twice. See that? So here it is, just a regular chain. You're going to yarn over twice. Okay, then you're going to go into your 5th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into the chain, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. So that's a triple crochet. Do it again, yarn over twice, go into the next chain over, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. That's a triple crochet. One more time, yarn over twice, go into the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Do another double crochet, yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now we're going to do a half double crochet. Yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, and you're going to go through all 3 loops now. This is a half double crochet. Now we're going to do a single crochet and then a slip stitch on the last chain. Then we're going to turn this around and work on the opposite side. Leave your tail hanging out this way. Single crochet into the next one. Half double crochet into the next. Two double crochets. Then you're going to do 3 triple crochets in the next 3 stitches. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and insert it into the same stitch as you did your triple crochet with a slip stitch and fasten off. Okay. Then you're going to take your needle, thread it from where you ended off, and what I like to do is insert my needle all the way through the middle of this leaf to give it more of a leafy look, if you know what I mean. So I'm pulling it right through. I'm going all the way to the very end. Pull on it just a little bit, and it brings it up like a heart. Then I just take the 2 loose ends and tie them together, and then you just sew them in so that it doesn't show, or you can just cut them off if you like. Okay. So there's our leaf, and for right now I'm just going to cut them off. Throw those loose ends away. And you can make 2 or you can make 3 of these and add them wherever you like. So now for the flower. Flower is very simple as well. Let's move this to the side. Yarn over. Make a slip knot. And what we're going to do is chain up 20. I'm using a pale pink. Okay, so there's my chain of 20. I'm going to yarn over, and we're going to do 4 double crochets into the 4th chain. So we're going to go into the 4th chain and do 4 double crochets all into that same chain. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to slip stitch into your 3rd chain, so you're going to skip 2, go to the 3rd chain, and slip stitch. Then you're going to yarn over again, skip 2 to the 3rd chain. You're going to do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip 2, slip stitch in the 3rd stitch, skip 2, 4 double crochets into the 3rd chain. Okay, we're gonna skip 2, go into the third one, slip stitch, and I think I counted wrong. Yes, I did. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. To fix the mistake, I'm just gonna put 4 double crochets into the next chain. Okay, so I'm gonna go right back into that same chain, slip stitch, and then we're gonna fasten off with a long tail so we can sew this in. So that's good enough for me. And I'm gonna pull this all the way through, tie these 2 ends together. Thread my needle with the loose end. Okay. Now we're going to do some sewing here. We're going to go into the first shell, then where we did our slip stitch, you're going to sew there, then the next one, then the next slip stitch, the next petal, the next slip stitch, the next petal, and then you just pull nice and tight, bring it all together, and then you just fix it to make it look like a pretty little flower. See that? Okay, now I'm going to change needles here because I need my smaller one for the bead or it won't fit. I'm getting a regular size needle here. And I know I had that bead over here. There it is. Take the bead. Or you can use a button, or you don't even have to use anything. I'm just fancying it up a bit by adding a bead. And you can even put a rhinestone. I was going to do that, but I was like, nah, I want to try the beads this time. I always put rhinestones on everything. I love the bling bling. Because I'm using the cotton yarn, I wanted something with like pearls to give it that more vintage, unique look instead of rhinestones. I'm going to tie the 2 ends together to hold that bead into place. So now that is done, and I am going to put 1 leaf and 1 flower here. The other one I'm going to use for my leash. So I'm going to sew it on there, probably just like the way it is right here, leaving this a little bit loose, so right above it. Make sure it's nice and even. So I'm going to sew this on, going in and out, and I'm going to show you how to make the leash right now, and then we can sew everything together. So let me set this stuff to the side for right now. Get that white yarn again, slip knot, and we are going to chain up 165. 165. Let's go. Alright, there goes our 165 chains. Now this is the dog leash, so you want it long enough from where you're at to the floor to the dog, you know, so you can walk your dog, so it has a nice good length to it. We are going into the second chain and single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across. When we get to the end, we are going to chain up one and single crochet across. I'm going to do this for 3 rows. So this is our first row, and then we're going to do 2 more after this, and this will probably be the length of the chain, the leash, the thickness. So I want to make sure it's a nice good thickness. I'm thinking 3 rows would be good enough, but if I have to, I'll make it 4 rows. But right now we're going to start by making 3. So I'm going to do mine off camera here and come back with all 3 rows done. So if you want to press pause and catch up, go ahead, because this is a lot of chains to go through, and we make sure that we get them all. And I'll be back with all 3 rows done. So at the end you're going to chain up 1, single crochet all the way back again. After you turn, then go back again and single crochet. I'll meet you there. Okay, I barely made it with the yarn I have left over to finish this up. So here I am at the very end. I am now going to fasten off here and pull that right through. Okay, for this part right here, you're going to take this and put it inside, just like so. And you're going to fold it over. See how I'm folding it over? Getting my loose ends out of the way. Okay. And you're going to sew this on to this part right here. So sew, 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 sew. So I'm going to thread my needle. Now you want to make sure it's sewed on really good, because dogs do tend to tug and pull. Even though they're little and everything, they seem to just tug and pull when you're giving them a walk, because they get so excited from walks. I know my baby loves it. Okay. So I'm going to tie my 2 ends together, my loose ends, to the ones I just did right now, and then I'm just going to sew these ends in so you don't see them anymore. Right in there, pull it right through. Fasten that one off. These 2 ends, tie them together. Nice and tight. I don't want nothing coming loose. Get my needle, thread them in as well. A little tough to get in there, but it's well worth it when you do. Okay, so all my ends are sewed right in there. You can cut these loose ends off. Move it around so the loose ends go inside so you don't see them. And that part is tied on. So now for the handle, make sure it's nice and even. This is going to be the back and this is the front side. So the front side, you can always put that flower right there so you know which side it is. Okay, so right here on the top, and here we go, putting this right underneath it. Put a little angle like that, that'll look cute. Put this right on top of that. This is going to be pushed right through, so okay. I'm just adjusting it, seeing the way I want it to look like, just to make sure it's like on there really good before I start sewing it, because right now I just have my two ends feeding through the back right here, and I want to make sure I have it like the way I want it before I start sewing it. And that looks good to me. Tie my two ends together and fasten off. So here's the part. Now going all the way to the end, making sure you don't turn this at all. It's a nice good length. You're gonna fold it to make a handle. Make sure your hand can fit in it nice and good, you know. I like to make a fist, and if it's as big as my fist, that's a perfect size. You don't want it too big or too floppy. So that's a good size for me. And I got big hands. Wow. Woo! Big hands. Hercules. Alright. So once you get there and you know your size, make sure it's not twisted at all. And I'm looking at it and mine's not twisted. So if you look at mine from this angle, pulling it all the way down, I have this. And you see how I'm bending it, folding it under? So the same stitches that are sewn under is on the same side. So when you flip this over, it'll be the same side. That's exactly what you want. So now I'm going to sew this on. Changing colors here now. I have a little bit here left over. And I'm going to sew this on here to here. Just the ends you want to get. Okay, so I'm back at the end here. Let's tie these two ends together so I know my stitches are nice and secured. And now I'm going to sew them in so if they do loosen up, they're in there. There we go, working it right through, nice and tight. Okay, so our leash is done. Look at that, isn't that cute? So cute. Now I'm going to sew on my flower because I haven't had a chance to. I was busy making that leash. Okay, so I want to feed this through first. And I'm using the little tiny one, wonder why. Ooh, I'm gonna have trouble with this one. There we go. Change needles. That needle is for sewing with thread, and this one's for crocheting. It's a lot thicker and easier to go through the stitches. I was struggling with that one. Woo! Okay. Pull my stitches, and I like the look of that. So now I'm just gonna start sewing this in. I'll go around the flower, make it easier so the stitches won't show through on the other side as much. And there it is. There's the harness, the little holder, and the leash. Now to try it on.